In this video, we build this Reiver.
Alright, we're going to build this guy right here. He is Space Marine Reiver 3. You can build 2 of them. So I picked this guy because I like how it looks like he's kind of advancing while drawing forth his giant combat knife, like he's going to cut somebody down. And it reminds me of like the old samurai stories and stuff. So we're going to chop out these bits. Here's everything off the first assembly page. And to tell you, this is I enjoy it, but it's my least favorite part, and I do not spend as much time as I could or probably should. I'm just trimming off the leftover bits of sprue with my hobby knife, and then we're going to be gluing them together with plastic glue. But, you know, unless it's a super obvious mold line, I don't scrape it. I don't do gap filling, and really the amount of time I spend with a hobby knife, I probably ought to do a lot more. But if I can get these guys together and quickly and get to the painting process, which I'd like to take slowly, that's where I want it to be. So we're just gonna keep trimming and dry fitting and gluing and messing around till we get these guys on. Dry fitting some of these legs took a little bit because the Reivers, they're a little more dynamic, but look at the picture, mess around with it, and it usually comes together pretty quickly. I like to use plastic glue because it's a little more forgiving for when you're trying to slot pieces in. It takes about 30 minutes to thoroughly dry, and in the meantime you can still move it around and position things as you need to. I give these guys usually about 10 seconds, and that's enough time for the tackiness of the glue to hold it together. And then it takes about, again, 30 minutes for it to dry. So I'll set that guy aside while I trim up the arms. I've been painting my Marines in sub-assemblies, and that's been working well for me. So I just cut up a couple pieces of cork with paper clips in and some blue tack, and I'm just gonna tack the arms onto these guys, and I will prime it on these, and I will paint it on these, and when I'm all done, we'll do a final assembly at the end of the series. Here is the final assembly page. So we're gonna do the backpack. And there's the grav chutes that we're gonna put on here. Grav chutes aren't as great in regular kill team, but with elites, there's gonna be some neat stuff that you can do with reserve rules. So we wanna throw them on there. Trimming these grav chutes is definitely the fiddliest bit for the building. I probably should have done it more, but I wanna get it together. And worst case scenario, I can always do some filing after I prime it. The backpack gets its own sub-assembly, and here we go. That's what it looks like when it has all together. All right, now for the head, we're going to pin this to a sub-assembly. So there's the head, and I'm going to take my pin vise and do a hole, which later on in the video, I'm going to take a paper clip that's got some super glue in it, stick it into that hole so that I'll have a nice mount to paint it on. Chapter pad. These Reivers are actually built with a pad already on the other arm, so you only have to do one pad. And this is going to be our Grayshield that gives our Grayshield his name. It's a little grenade pouch that we're going to put on the front chest. There's actually enough so you can do these on both sides, but because the armor is going to be reaching across, we're only going to do the one. So just put a dab of plastic glue on the back, stick it on there, and again, there's plenty of time to adjust it around and leave it just like that. All right, grappling hook, and since he's holding a heavy bolt pistol, we got one of the grappling hooks that are still within its holster, And we're just going to stick that on the back here. The final little accessory bit is going to be the purity seal, the tiniest little thing. So I'm just holding it by the paper and I'm put a little dab behind the wax part. I think we're gonna put this one on the leg in a very traditional position, and I'm just gonna kind of get it all on using my file to push it into a place that I like. In like manner to the head, we're going to pin this main portion of body, and we're only gonna do one leg. So we're just gonna take the pin vise and get a decent depth hole here, and then clip a piece of paper clip that we're gonna insert in there with some super glue. So here's my paper clip. I'm just taking my clippers, make sure you hold it on both sides so it doesn't go flying. And then I'm using, this is a Gorilla Glue gel super glue, and we're just gonna dab a bit in here and insert that paper clip into the foot. You can do quite a bit because we're actually gonna pin this to the base. So we're gonna want some paper, we're gonna want the paper clip to stick in. When we do the head, we want the tiniest bit of paper clip with the tiniest bit of glue inserted up into the head, because we wanna be able to wiggle this free, because we do not want the paper clip after that. I'm gonna fiddle with this for a little while until it has a good hold that I know it'll stay and it'll dry well. Pin is a little off to the side, which is kind of awkward, but again, we're not going to use the pin to attach it to the marine. We're going to pop the head right off, so it's not as important. We're going to take the body, push it into a piece of cork, so that tomorrow we can start base coating this guy, and I'll ramble a little bit about what a Grayshield is. Please let me know how you hobbied today in the comments.